Welcome back to Talking Lead. This is episode 47. Left hand.
Hey.
What's up?
Well, it's Thanksgiving week.
It is.
And I guess by the time this airs, it will be Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
So happy Thanksgiving.
Or Thanksgiving will be over.
To all the lead heads.
And if you're listening to this after Thanksgiving, this is the Giving Thanks episode. Not Thanksgiving episode, I guess. So instead of what we did with guns this week, let's talk about what we're thankful about firearms. Okay. What are you thankful for firearms?
Man, what am I not thankful for regarding firearms? I'm thankful for, number one, our rights and our ability to be able to carry and own and utilize firearms in our everyday lives. I'm thankful for the men and women who lay their lives out on the line day in and day out that provide and give us that privilege. Our military, our law enforcement, can't thank those guys enough. So that's really who I'm thankful for, our servicemen and women.
Me, I am thankful for the same. All the servicemen and all the veterans out there that have served and fought for our right to carry those weapons, and for the amendment that gives us that right, the Second Amendment. So that's what I'm thankful for, along with many other things we might throw out throughout the show. And another thing I'm thankful about is all the lead heads out there. Because Left Hand and I started this off as a hobby, just something fun to do with guns, and people started listening, and it became something.
They wanted more.
Yeah,
and they wanted more.
Exactly.
And we're like, oh crap, we don't have any more.
So it's turning into something that's really fun, really big, and we want to thank all you lead heads out there that listen. It's a blast.
Absolutely.
We love doing Talking Lead, Joe.
I mean, we get to travel around the United States to places like this where we're at today. We're on location today. We're at the Northside Gun Shop in Columbia, Tennessee.
We've talked about it in the past couple shows.
Last week we were at the Nashville Armory, doing the show. The week before that we were in Dallas doing the SEAL Legacy Foundation. Yeah. The week before that I was in Virginia Beach at a Navy SEAL retirement. I mean, holy crap.
Yep. In a couple months we'll be at SHOT Show in Vegas.
Speaking of, we got to get airfare booked.
Yes, we got to do that soon. I thought you already did that.
Huh? Thought I already did that.
Yeah.
No, I got to have your info. Did I ever get your info?
Oh, that's right. You got to get my license and all that jazz.
Yeah.
Well, we've got a guest with us today, and it's Mr. Justin McConnell, the owner, founder, everything, right?
That's pretty much everything. Owner and founder, yep.
He is modern Spartan Systems.
Modern Spartan System. It's a gun lube and cleaning product, right?
That is correct.
Cool. You founded it when?
It was founded April of 2013, so it's a pretty new company. We just started it in 2013. We've been working on the idea for the last 4 years, though, doing a lot of testing to make sure that we had everything lined up before we went to market with it.
Awesome. Tell us a little bit about your company.
Well, we're a small company right now based out of Swanee, Georgia. We do weapons cleaners and lubricants.
American-made.
American-made, that's right. Everything that we do is American-made.
Southern-made.
Southern-made. We do a lot of our accuracy lubricant is real big right now, but we do an entire system of cleaning. The idea that we took was kind of a systems approach, so that way we could make sure that you get in the weapon as clean as possible, and making sure that you're getting all the benefits that you're supposed to, not using one product to do 16 different things. So.
Now, Gabe was kind enough to give me some of your sample products, and I've been using them last couple of weeks. And I didn't know what kind of process you needed to do with these, so I might be doing it wrong. Talk to us about the different products you have, and then the order of operation and how you recommend that you go through cleaning with those.
Sure. No, we like I said, we started out with a systems approach because what we wanted to do was offer the most effective lubricants and cleaners that are out there on the market. So we based it off of what we have as the Spartan Accuracy Oil, which is designed to reduce friction 85 to 95% across the board. And the idea behind that is by using nanotechnology, which is just smaller molecules, and having a higher flash point than most of the regular.
I thought nanotechnology were like the little robots that go in your body.
Yeah, we haven't progressed to that yet. Not working on the nanomites, but a lot of people see nanotechnology
Cobra
and they kind of
Commander might be seeking you out,
changing faces and things like that. No, the idea behind it is that we're able to actually get into those small cracks and crevices that you have in the metal that are always there. Kind of just like if you took a microscope to it, you'd see. We reduce all that friction by filling it in. And by actually strengthening the metal that you have. So by reducing that friction, what you're getting is better standard deviation. You're getting a much better accurate shot when you're actually taking a look at it, because you're not having those mini striations that happen on the rounds. The accuracy oil is great for functioning too, because it's not a surface lubricant. What you can generally get with like CLP and things like that is a surface lubricant, and once you wear through it, it burns off real quick. A lot of the lubricants, if you look at their flash points, we're looking at 100 or 200 degrees. Our flash point's over 400 degrees, which is hotter than what you get in the barrel of a Beretta. So if you're firing higher caliber weapons and you're using something that flashes 100 degrees, it's starting to carbonize, and all it's causing is that gumming and that those problems that you're seeing. So by using the accuracy oil, you actually reduce the amount of carbon that you're getting. It's not burning onto your metal. It's not getting all that sand that's sticking to it. And just a really, really highly accurate weapon, much better functionality. If you've got a weapon that's sticking or having any problems with feeding, injecting, anything like that, as soon as you use this, you'll feel that cycle operations really work out well. And it can stand alone. The great thing about it is that you can use it just by itself in kind of a CLP, because it does do preservative. It is designed so that way it'll protect your metal, so that way it's not causing any problems on there. But we do have our carbon cleaner, which is if you ever fired that AR-15, you put a couple hundred rounds through it and you pull the bolt apart and you've just got to scrub on it and brush on that metal. If you take the carbon destroyer that we have, just soak that bolt inside there for a couple minutes, and you'll just be able to wipe all that carbon off of there. So it's really, really great for like your 22 rimfire weapons that are just nasty and filthy. If you get a lot of that carbon buildup, if you use the carbon destroyer, you can just go ahead and put it on there, let it soak for a little bit, and wipe it right down. It helps just break that bond that the carbon has to your metal.
Okay. So. And we'll talk a little bit more about that here in a little while. What are you thankful for when it comes to firearms?
Well, I have to kind of echo what you guys said as far as being thankful for the troops. I did some time in the military myself.
Thank you for your service.
Thank you very much.
Quite welcome. It was my pleasure. Very thankful for the fact that we are able to have firearms and be able to exercise that freedom. So, and everything about being able to talk about it, like you were talking about with First Amendment, Second Amendment rights, those things are extremely important to me. And I also am thankful for getting to go out shooting. I was just shooting yesterday with my wife. It's just I like to be able to take a day off and go down to the shooting range and just have a good time, not have to go through a bunch of hoops as far as trying to get, just go down and do simple things like going out and working on marksmanship a little bit.
Awesome. Now, are you a hunter?
I don't hunt anymore. So I did a little while, a while back, but I haven't been hunting any in the last probably about 5-6 years. So.
Now, Zeke, you've been setting up for a big hunt, right? Yeah? Tell us about it.
So Saturday I went out and got in the ground blind. It was cold and sat there from about... I got up there at 4:45, sat there till about 10:30 that morning. Didn't see anything. I didn't even see a squirrel, birds, nothing. It was like nuclear holocaust that happened or something.
What kind of deodorant are you using?
I use like all this. I use the scent-free soap.
You need to get in touch with Nicole and ask her what you need to do.
I did everything that she said. I did the soap. I bought the deodorant. I used the laundry detergent. I took all the clothes. I stuck them in an airproof container with all the leaves and stuff from that site.
Yeah.
I did everything that she said. And still never saw anything. So I was like, all right, well,
it's
I'm freezing.
Beer conditioner you're using. That's what it is.
It's the beer, yeah. So I went back, got some lunch, put some extra socks on because I couldn't feel my toes, went back out. Got there around 1:30, sat there till about 5 when it started getting dark. Never saw anything again. The only animal I saw was a red-tailed hawk. I didn't see squirrels. I didn't see nothing.
That's pretty cool.
So I got on it. There's a tndeer.com. It's a forum about deer hunting in Tennessee. And a lot of people were saying the same thing. Nobody saw anything. No doe, no buck, no nothing. So I'm like, all right, maybe just the rut hadn't hit hard yet. So I went back out yesterday. I didn't do the morning this time because I knew it was sleeting and snowing, and I wasn't going to pull it all day in that crap. So I got there around noon, sat there, saw the biggest coyote I've ever seen come running across the field. I almost shot it, but it was running too fast. I'm not that good a shot. And still no deer, though. And then finally I'm walking out, and I found where they're bedding down. 2 big doe came out, but it was dark. I mean, I couldn't get a shot. It was dark to that point where you can't see anything through your scope. You can see them with your bare eye, but then like you put your scope on, you can't see anything. So I'm going to go back maybe this weekend. Yeah, I may go back this weekend.
Borrow my scope?
Yeah, I may do that.
Let you borrow.
So yeah, it's been a 0 for 2 so far this year. And if I don't get anything this weekend in that same spot, I'm going to move spots.
Gotcha.
We got a whole season.
I'm going to get with a couple of my hunting buddies and see if I can't strum up a hunt. I haven't had time really to even think about it. But
we need to go set up the Talking Lead Ranch.
Yeah, we could do that. We got to go down there and do that.
Heck yeah.
All right, we'll do that.
Okay. So now it's time for...
Hoorah, Semper Fi, do or die, hold 'em high at 8th and I. It is time for the Talking Lead Jackwagon of the Week, so brace yourself, baby.
So Jackwagon of the Week this week.
So you got somebody for us, right?
I do. No names, no locations are going to be mentioned. This is just kind of education purposes for everybody that's not doing things like this right. I had a friend of mine who lives in a very rural area. He has some farmland there. And he was sitting there in his creek cleaning some brush, and all of a sudden heard a big pew, and felt the thud on his side. And looked down, and there's a bullet. Didn't penetrate him. Maybe a little bruise. That's about it. But apparently what had happened is about, I guess, 500-600 yards away, there were some kids shooting. I don't know if they're kids, college kids, or what they were. But they're basically up there. They had a berm. They had everything set up right. And they had all the targets on the berm. So if they would have been shooting at the targets, they'd been fine. But no, they decided to turn and shoot at this metal post that was real thin because it seemed like a hard target where there's no berm and the metal post is aiming down off of the ridge that aims down 500 yards away to his house. We actually told him to go buy a lottery ticket because it ricocheted off that pole and through the woods and ended up hitting him. And for it to not hit a tree or anything, he's pretty dang lucky. Yeah, so the jack wagon of the week this week is anybody that doesn't practice proper gun safety and just common sense when you're out there shooting. Because when stuff like that happens, you make us all look bad. And that's what gives the gun grabbers fuel. So anybody that's out there doing stupid stuff like that, not shooting and knowing what's beyond your target. I mean, hell, that's one of the 4 rules of gun safety. Know what your target is and what's beyond it. And these guys didn't know what was beyond it. And if they had any eyes to see, they could see that beyond that metal pole, 1, it's a metal pole that's round. It's probably going to ricochet somewhere. And 2, there was an empty, no berm woods down into a ridge.
So did he go up there and?
Yeah, he called the cops and everything.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
Good for him.
I think they're going to learn their lesson the hard way. Please practice proper gun safety when you're handling your weapons,
especially this time of year. There's a lot of people out.
Yeah. We got our random hanger-oner that shows up.
Hanger-oner? I'm a groupie.
Yeah. Gabe, our groupie. Gabe the groupie.
Hey, you're talking about jack wagons. Did you see that cop that got busted for illegally shooting deer?
No.
Yeah, it was on the news.
Oh, the highway
trooper,
patrol guy?
Yeah, the trooper.
Yeah.
Busted for illegally shooting deer.
He was like sitting on the side of the interstate or something?
Yeah,
shooting them?
with his service rifle. I mean, I guess I'm a country kid. But
yeah.
I'm not that country where I'm a state trooper and I'm out there shooting deer because, it's available.
Yeah. What was he shooting it with? His service rifle?
Yeah.
So probably an AR?
Yeah, probably an AR, whatever he had in his truck.
Wow.
I bet he probably brought his hunting rifle along with him.
You know what? That's
I bet
country.
He did.
I would
no one
do
here
that.
in Tennessee, yeah.
I guarantee he did. He's like, it's going to be a long night. I'm going to be out here.
Now, I'll admit, if I'm in my truck and if it's on property I have hunting permission for, I'll hop out of the truck and shoot from there. But I'm not going to do it on somebody else's property or sitting on the side of the interstate.
Yeah, it's insane.
That's crazy.
Was he on duty while he was doing that?
Yeah.
Wow. What is he going to do with the deer when he gets it? Strap it to the front of the
I don't know.
patrol car?
I have no idea what his plan was. He's probably going to skin it out and throw the meat in the trunk. I have no idea. And put it in the back seat. Put handcuffs on it. Who knows?
That's just
Arrested this deer.
Jaywalking.
Justin, we ask a bunch of questions to everybody that comes on. So how did you originally get into firearms?
I would say my first introduction was when I went to Marine Corps boot camp. I had fired a couple rounds through a couple different rifles beforehand, but my family wasn't real big into rifles. So my dad, I guess, he was a pistol guy, didn't fire a lot of rifles, but Marine Corps boot camp kind of opened my eyes to as far as shooting. So I'd say that probably be the first big introduction.
Living in Colorado, you weren't like a big hunter or anything?
My dad was never a hunter.
Wow.
I don't know what was wrong with him. I'm not really sure. But I grew up south of Denver, and there's tons of deer all the time. But my dad just had a pistol. That was about it. So didn't shoot much.
Wow. Because there's some awesome hunting in Colorado.
I've been elk hunting out there. It is really, really nice.
And Colorado has all of a sudden gone cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs with their gun laws too.
Yes, I don't know what happened with that.
Yeah.
Guns and weed.
Well, they can legalize weed all they want. I don't care about that. But freaking taking the high-capacity ammo. In Colorado, it's crazy.
High-capacity ammo?
High-capacity ammo. It's kind of like you putting the magazine in the clips.
They're
high-capacity magazine.
Once your magazine's empty.
Somebody pulled up, and I was trying to see who it was, and it kind of threw me away.
They recalled.
I'm talking it all right.
Something shiny.
You're gonna have to edit that whole thing. It just sounds like a bunch of people talking at the same time.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm gonna leave it just like
You're
that.
just gonna leave it just like that? That's great.
All right, so the second question is, tell us, and you've talked a little bit about it, your military law enforcement background.
Okay, well, I did 10 years in the Marine Corps, kind of on again, off again. So got out in 2001, and then right after September 11th, came back in and went back on active duty. So I got about 10 years of Marine Corps active duty time behind me, and then I work full time for the National Guard now, which was quite the transition.
Yeah.
Kind of a culture shock a little bit, but I like what I do now.
A little more lax there, maybe?
A lot more lax than active duty Marine Corps, that is for sure. But I think it has its purpose. It's not designed to stress out those guys that come in for 2 days a month. But working full time is definitely get to see kind of the inner workings behind the unit. And 3 guys working to make sure that the company is operating the rest of the month has been eye opening as far as doing a lot of different stuff. So
What's your MOS?
I work as a 35 Fox, so Intel analyst right now.
Nice.
You got any good Marine stories?
Any good Marine stories?
Yeah.
Always have some good sea stories. I guess question is, all right, let's take one. I was down in Australia.
They can bleep and edit.
Yeah, bleep and edit? Not a problem, not a problem.
If you get halfway through it and you're like, oh, I couldn't say that.
Maybe I don't want my wife hearing that one.
So I was down in Australia. Crocodile 99 was the name of the operation, and we were coming off the ship, did an amphibious invasion. We're supposed to basically take this huge area and just blow it up. As
In
Marines.
Australia?
In Australia. Shoalwater Bay training area.
Training.
Yep.
I was like,
no,
we're
just
at war
all,
with
no,
Australia.
Yeah.
We're practicing for the invasion.
We
so.
attacked them and took
That's
their
the
women.
stuff you don't hear
didn't
our
know
government
that.
talk about.
Beer and women, that's right.
Our war with Australia.
And we were spending about 3 days out there in the field, and the sea state was so rough that they couldn't get the rest of the guys on. So it was 6 of my guys from the engineer platoon, and we're just blowing tons of ordnance that we brought on shore and just having a grand old time. They basically chopped up about 700 acres into 4 squares and said, just go ahead and make sure that you don't shoot each other. Kind of similar to your story. We were making sure that we weren't shooting at each other. But I got bit by something on my knee. Had to go to the hospital for 2 days. Got a bunch of fluid pulled off. But
Koala.
yeah, some wild animal down there.
Dirty Australian girl.
Olivia Newton-John?
It might have been her. So
She's still hot.
Was it
Years later.
Kylie Minogue? Is she from
Kylie Minogue.
Yeah, I'd let her bite my knee
Yeah, indeed.
if I wasn't married to my awesome wife.
Absolutely.
She sings well.
So I was making my way back, and they basically dropped me off and said, here you go, Lance Corporal McConnell wants you to figure your stuff out and head back to the ship. And I was like, okay, well, a couple convoys coming through, and they dropped me off in an Australian command post, and I was sitting there with this Australian captain, and he looked at me, and he's kind of giving me a hard time, just messing with me a little bit, as a lot of the foreign militaries do. And he turned around and goes, hey, mate, you know what buggery is? And I said, oh, no, I don't know what buggery is. I was a little scared. And he's like, yeah, buggery. I've been out in the field for a while. You can go ahead and, do whatever you want to with the other lads. And I was like, oh, my God, what is this guy talking about? He's like, yeah, it's legal after 10 days in the field. We've been out here 10 days, mate. And he's looking at me, and he totally scared the crap out of me, I'll tell you what. So I made my way out of there as quickly as possible. And I was like, I'll tell you what, I love the Australian women, but that guy scared the hell out of me. So that is for sure.
Craziness.
The Aussies are great. I've had a chance to work with them a couple times in 29 Palms, California, down in Australia, and then in East Timor. And they're crazy. They love to party, always joking around. But I love that lifestyle down there. So,
Did you eat, what's that Vegemite? Did you eat Vegemite?
I am not that brave. Vegemite sandwich? No, not at all.
Men at work.
I haven't met anybody that's had a Vegemite sandwich.
I don't think I've ever
I
met
don't
an
even know what that
Australian.
is.
You ever heard that song, Men at Work? What was
Land Down Under.
Land Down Under? Is that what the name of the song is?
Yep.
Oh, yeah, I've heard that.
Yeah.
He talks about a
it's
Vegemite
one of the
sandwich in there.
lyrics,
Well, what's Vegemite sandwich?
I think it's like yeast paste.
Some kind of Australian delicacy,
That doesn't
I guess.
sound good.
I don't know.
I think it's like bacteria
Yeah,
paste
it's like
or
it's
something.
And
basically
that's why
like-
they live on an island
Yeah.
in the middle of nowhere.
They were a bunch of prisoners originally. Actually, just kidding.
Prison
Well,
island.
no, I'm not. They really
No, they were
It
exiled.
was a prison
We have a lot of Australian listeners, so give a big shout out to them. And we're sorry for the war we, I guess, waged on them, and I didn't know about.
the invasion of every single American ship going down there.
They're getting
so.
us back with buggery, though.
That's for sure.
When it comes to pop culture, movies, TV shows, video games, books, whatever, if it involves firearms, what's your go-to?
Ooh, that's a tough one. I would definitely say that I'm a big fan of The Walking Dead.
Yeah.
We were talking about that before the show, and really like The Walking Dead. And another one that I've kind of grown to like is Person of Interest. I don't know if you guys watch that or not.
I was for
haven't
sure
watched
you were
it
going
yet.
to say Once Upon a Time.
Once Upon a Time? No, that's probably the third best for me.
Yeah.
So thanks, Gabe. I appreciate
No
that.
problem, man.
You know, when we have Gabe and Sam on here at the same time, we're not going to have to do anything.
No.
We're just going to say go and
Hit record.
we'll have to clean our pants afterwards.
We'll go
laughing
check out
so
all the
much.
cool guns while they're talking.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, those cool guns are here at Northside Gun Shop, by the way, in Columbia, Tennessee.
Plug.
We let our
Shameless
listeners know
plug.
where we're recording today. You guys have, I mean, since the doors opened, you've had traffic come in nonstop.
Yeah, it's been like this. It's been like this for a while now. We've gotten some pretty steady traffic every day. I mean, we're having some really big days. This is a really big month for us. This is coming up on month 6 here. So we're pretty excited. We got a great selection of just about everything, and we can order anything. We get the website coming up pretty soon, and we've got to have thousands of items on the website for people to order.
And you were talking about person of interest.
Yep.
What is that?
It's Jim Caviezel.
Yeah. That's a
quiet
J.J.
talker.
Abrams.
Yeah, my wife calls him the quiet talker because he's always just real quiet. But,
J.J. Abrams.
Jesus. He was Jesus.
Oh, yeah, he did play
that
Jesus.
show?
He played Jesus.
He also
J.J.
played that-
Abrams does that one.
He also played that firefighter that
What
went
does he
back
not
in time.
do?
Yeah.
What does
with
J.J. Abrams
Kevin
not
Costner,
do?
was it?
he's involved in everything. So.
I watched one last night that he did, the new one. It's the one with the guy from Star Trek that plays the new McCoy.
Yeah. Almost Human.
Urban, Keith
Almost Human.
Yeah, Keith Urban.
Oh, yeah.
That's actually pretty good.
Yeah, that's a good
I mean,
one,
it's
too.
movie quality kind of stuff.
Yep.
Wait a minute.
So I watched the first 2 episodes of that last night.
Everything he's done, I like.
Keith Urban?
No, not Keith Urban.
Something urban.
It's not
Keith
Keith.
Urban's
Keith
a
Urban's a
country
country singer
artist.
that married
Yeah.
the really hot Australian.
Yeah.
His last name's
Carl
Urban.
Urban.
Carl Urban.
There it
yeah.
is.
Are they
There it
related?
is.
Because I think he's Australian too, isn't he?
Urban's Australian.
Yeah.
He may be. I don't know.
I don't know.
It's all about Australia today.
He does
I
a
guess.
good American accent.
See, my wife and I are wanting to watch that show, but we want to start from the beginning because J.J. Abrams stuff you kind of have to watch every.
I liked
one.
him. Is that the one? He's an artificial cop?
Yeah,
That's the
Almost Human.
Yeah, they just debuted last week.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great show. Yeah, it's a good show.
yeah. They got 2 episodes out of that right now. But back to The Walking Dead.
All right.
You said you're a big fan of The Walking Dead. You know that just started up here. We're what
Fourth
episode?
Fourth or fifth?
4th or 5th, yeah.
Yeah.
I can't remember which one. I think it might be the 5th. We've got a trivia question that's going to relate to the latest episode of The Walking Dead. Has there been, or is there, a firearm that you currently own that you, maybe just a little bit of you, or maybe a lot of you, is ashamed to admit that you own or have owned?
Besides my pink Glock, I don't really know about that. I do know I get a lot of questions about I've got a PS90 that I try to let people shoot, and for some reason they can't see the holographic sight in it, and they do all kinds of silly stuff with it. So I wouldn't say I'm embarrassed by it, but it's definitely probably people look at it as
One of your awkward guns?
what is that sci-fi gun you got right there? You have to answer a million questions. You take it to I shoot with a group of old guys down in Atlanta, and anything that's got plastic on it, they don't touch. Anything before World War II, these guys are crazy like that. And I whipped it out one day, and they were like, "What the heck is that? You shooting from Star Trek?" So they give me a pretty hard time about that. But
And it's got that odd round too. It's like a
5.7 by 28. Yeah. It's awesome little gun. I love it. So
Yeah, but it's got a great capacity. What, 50 rounds?
50 rounds for the mags that I got. I got
Feeds
a 30
from
and
the top,
50.
too.
Yep, and it ejects right below your armpit. Bullpup design, so it's just tucked in nice and.
So how do you
nice and
like it? I
steady.
mean, is it pretty...
I love it. So for what I bought it for, yeah, I absolutely
sweet.
love it. Yeah.
There's nothing embarrassing about that one.
Now,
No,
I'd take
that's a cool gun to own.
having explained it is probably the only thing that to me is kind of like every time I pull it out, what is that? Everybody asking questions like, oh, come on, man, seriously? But everybody's played with it in the video games.
That's my figure 8 gun.
I have to explain it every time I pull mine out too. So. Gun, PS90. As far as bucket list guns, like the next gun you want to get, what is next on your list to get?
I would probably say either a 1911 if I was going with a pistol. I do not have one. I've got a Glock 21, but I've always wanted a 1911.
Is there a certain model, brand, 1911?
I've been looking around to try to find the best ones. It seems like everybody I talk to has got a different opinion on what they are.
Oh, yeah.
So for a while there,
There's so many
It's-
different ones out there. Even within the same company
Absolutely.
brand, they've got so many different models.
absolutely. So I think I probably just need to go out and shoot a bunch of them and figure out what I like.
So I brought
'Cause
one today. I'll let you see it, the Sig Sauer.
I haven't shot that one, but I've
The
heard great
Nightmare.
We're going to
things.
do a review on it here. I'll let you see it. It's pretty sweet.
And while you're handling that, since you said you like the Glock
You're
21,
handling that.
wow, we are going all over the place with this show. I'm thankful that our listeners are not perverted to think we talk like that. Yeah. You were talking about the Glock 21. I was wanting to get a Glock 21. I ended up getting a Glock 30. That's now becoming my EDC. I love that thing, man.
All right, we might as well go ahead and do an EDC check.
Let's do it. I've got the Glock 30
Is that it?
on my hip.
Knife?
No, I don't have my knife's out in the car.
Watch?
But watch. Yeah, I've got a Sunto Ambit watch.
I like
got
that
from,
watch, dude. You got it from US Elite
US
Gear.
Elite Gear. And you can go get the same watch for a discount if you enter the code Talking Lead.
That's right. Go to us-elitegear.com and
Awesome
enter that
place.
code.
But yeah, that Glock 30, man. You shot it with me.
Yeah, I did. I like it.
It didn't
I want
recoil hardly any
It's got
as
the
much.
night sights.
I mean, the recoil on it was about the same as the Glock 19. It was crazy with a 45. So, yeah, I'm hooked on that thing. That's now my everyday carry.
You got your
Love
blade
that
on
gun.
you?
No, that's what I said I left out in the car.
Oh, you left it in the car.
Yeah. What you got?
Well, again,
22?
Glock 22, Crimson Trace. I've got the
J
J
sights.
sight on there. I'm really liking the J sights. You can go to our Facebook page and our website. I did a little review on it, kind of a preliminary.
What do you
first-
think about what I
first
said
thoughts.
about it?
What are you talking
about? The J sites, I like them, but it takes so much mental reprogramming that I almost think you would
I
have
don't
to put
think
it
so.
on every side.
Have you shot it yet?
Yeah, I shot it with you that night.
No, I mean after the first couple of magazines through it, it was just.
Have you
just
shot anything
automatic.
without it since then?
Have I shot anything
Without the J sight?
No, not yet.
Because I'm wondering if it's going to mess up, your front sight, then the J sight's back sight, back sight.
No, because
back
it's
sight,
so obvious what sight you're using on it, and I'm going to know what gun I'm carrying. This is what sight I got on there too. I just have to, and I think you're supposed to just completely drown
Cover
out
it,
the front. But I shot it a lot better with the front just peeking up just a little bit, and it might just be the
setting,
side how I've got
yeah.
it set. But after I did that, I was doing the battleship game against
Yeah, I saw those targets.
against Pepper's son, and I was getting them right on, man.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just, and it was quick too because I wasn't just sitting there aiming and
Right.
thinking about it.
You just
I was
covered.
bringing it up, and then in less than a second of bringing it up, I was consciously, I want to do it quick.
Yeah.
Put it on target and pull the trigger, and that's what I was doing, and I was getting them. I mean, right in those little circles. So. But to talk about natural shot, took him
Oh, yeah.
out there. This is our oldest son. Never shot a gun before in his life, and he had the Glock 17. I gave him
Yeah.
the Glock 17. I went through the safety and everything like that with him and proper gun handling, and he was freaking dead on nailing the
I asked you, I said,
bullseyes.
how long's he been shooting? You're like, this is the first time he ever shot.
He was just.
He didn't flinch. He had perfect form. I mean, granted, left hand told him all the right things to do, but most people, when you tell them that first time, they're still going to flinch.
They're still
gonna
nervous
jerk.
or something
Yeah.
like that. That's impressive.
It was
It's a
like somebody gave
natural
him a
shot.
Xanax before he went out there and shot. He was just like, yeah, pink,
boom.
pink.
And he's like that with everything. He picks everything up real
Yeah.
quick. But he was like, there's nothing to this.
Yeah.
Gave him the 45. He shot the 45. He was nailing it too.
Dang.
Must be all those
That's
video
nice.
games. Who knows?
Oh, yeah.
So, all right, on to the ankle carry. Got the 23 with the extended mag on it today. Ankle holster, which is the Blackhawk.
Galco.
It's actually a Blackhawk.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh.
I found out what it was. So
Okay.
It's a Blackhawk ankle holster.
Thanks, Sean.
And my pocket knife, Tool Logic, with the. Actually, I got the knife sharpener on it today, not the flint.
Yeah, but there's something that's built in that's always on it.
Flashlight.
No,
It's got a built-in flashlight.
Yeah.
And the infamous
Yeah.
rape whistle.
It's a nice little setup.
It is. Check it out, man. Those are awesome little knives. Very, I think, underrated for what they are, especially on the price point. I mean, you can pick those things up for less than $25. Very
Suggested
durable.
retails what, 80, but then usually most people have them for sale pretty.
Yeah, you can go to Devore.com, which is a division of Optics Planet, and they'll run specials on them for like $20 and whatnot. And you can pick
Nice.
them up. Pick them up.
Now, Justin,
So I'm not saying this is the top quality best knife ever made, but for the price point, just we've had people that are just dogging this knife, but for the price point
$20
and what you're getting, I mean it's a heck of a knife. I mean you get torch, you get the ability to make flame, sharpen your knife, and then your little
blow whistle if you're getting raped.
emergency whistle,
Modern day Swiss Army knife right there.
and then it could be a
Looks
little knuckle thing too. Pow right in the choppers.
So what do you usually carry, Justin?
Smith
your
& Wesson.
EDC?
Smith & Wesson M&P40 compact is usually what I carry. Was carrying my Glock 21 for forever, and then realized that it's just too darn big. But
No.
I love that M&P40 compact. It is awesome.
It's never too big.
That's what a lot of people say. I got the 22. I've been carrying this since I bought the thing 5 years ago. I mean, nobody ever knows I've got it on. and it's
Yeah,
size.
I like the 30. 30 is the same width. It's a shorter handle and shorter barrel, but the width, it doesn't bother
30's
me.
like the 23, isn't it?
21. Are you talking about size-wise?
Size-wise?
It's more like
'Cause you got
the 19.
In the 40s, you got the 22, you got the 23, and then you got the 27.
30 is like the 19 for the 45. 30.
So it's a mid-size. So
I think
that's the
is
same as the 23 then, because
Yeah.
the 23 and the
Yeah,
19
yeah.
are the same, different calibers.
I think it's the 36 that's the subcompact.
Might be.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I think that's right.
No.
Yeah, but we were back to bucket list guns. You were talking about your bucket list gun. I was telling Gabe, I was going through SIG's site the other day, and I've been dying to get one of those MK25. Is that what they are? The MK25s, the 229 or 226s. I'm sorry. You know the Navy SEALs carry.
Yeah.
Yes.
They've got the silver. Well, they've got a flat dark earth version of one now.
That's cool.
Yeah, it looked awesome.
Yeah, that SEAL version, we found out you have to prove that you're a Navy SEAL or have been a Navy SEAL to even buy one.
Wow, that's quite the...
Like they research
no,
it.
not the P226. You're talking about the one that
That they were custom ordering.
the custom ordering that
Yeah.
that McGinnis was.
Yeah, there was like a
That's a
special
different one.
edition SEAL SIG that they made that you actually have to say yes.
Yeah. That's not. the
They'll
same
research
thing.
it, and if you're not getting it. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I'd like to have one of those too, but I'm not going to get one of those.
Is there a gun that you sold or got rid of that you wish you had back?
I sold. I had a 338 Lapua that I really, really liked. I was a little upset that I sold that. I actually traded it off for a couple of guns. I traded a guy for a PTR 91 that he had decked out. He was looking for it, and the ammo on it was so expensive at the time. I was like,
Still is.
it monster expensive, and I was like, you know what? I can shoot this 7.62 a little bit cheaper, the 308. So the PTR 91, while I like it, and he did a really good job on the build, I wish I had that Lapua back.
Yeah, I've wanted to shoot one. We were going to shoot one, and then when we went
had
to the
it.
Georgia
I
shoot,
had a buddy of mine that let us take it down to Georgia. And
Oh, yeah.
we went to get ammo for it, and we're like, maybe not.
it was $140 for 20 rounds.
So we were hoping Federal had some down there, but no, they didn't.
No Lapua. With it being Thanksgiving time, we're going to talk about some older guns, maybe even going back to
What the Pilgrims
Pilgrim
had.
days. Little muskets,
Little John Wayne Pilgrim action.
blunderbuss. Yeah. I just got a classic gun, which I still haven't got the Cosmoline cleaned out of, which maybe modern Spartan stuff can help me clean that stuff out. Have you tried it on Cosmoline?
Absolutely, that Carbon Destroyer will eat that Cosmoline up for you. It just
Really?
brings right out. It's awesome.
Do I got to strip it like I would normally, or?
If you can get a decent amount out, and then before you have to do any scrubbing, if you put the Carbon Destroyer inside there and let it sit for a couple minutes, and then just you wipe it right out. So,
Really?
Yep.
I'm going to have to use that then. Yeah, I got the Mosin Nagant, and I'm pumped about shooting that thing. I just haven't had the time to get that thing cleaned out.
That's a classic.
Yeah, that's one that, if you've ever seen the movie Enemy at the Gates with Jude Law, basically that whole movie is about the Nagant.
Yep.
The stuff, that sniper and what he did with it was pretty amazing, and the history behind that rifle. All the different wars.
That movie was
and-
based on a true
And we're going to have
story.
James from the...
Was he the rooster guy? Was that what they called him?
It may have been. I can't remember.
I don't remember what the name was, but it was based off a true story where the
Yeah.
top German and the top Russian snipers dueling each other. It's pretty impressive.
And it's crazy because before, the Russians latched onto him and made him a media thing, they just sent people out untrained, crazy, willy-nilly into the war, and this guy could actually shoot. The media or the military got a hold of it, and they're like, we need a hero. And, they created this hero with that story, putting him in the media, and then old Ed Harris came after him.
What did I watch with him in here recently? There was some kind of submarine movie. It had David Duchovny in it as well.
Huh.
I haven't seen that one.
I can't remember what it was called. It wasn't very good. It was.
It's one
They
of
were,
those straight
they
to
were supposed to have
DVDs.
been Russian, but they weren't even faking their accents. They were just talking in their normal.
Well, they did that in Enemy of the Gates, too. It's like all the Russians had British accents. So I was kind of like,
Maybe Ed Harris can't
This
do
is kinda
accents. Maybe.
well, Ed Harris was German. He actually did a good German accent in that one, I think.
He wasn't bad, but
Yeah. I've heard better, but
Talk a little bit about what
about the Pilgrims?
weapons the Pilgrims
What kind of stuff they'd have?
they had with them. If you think about it, that was back in the 1600s. So they're probably going to have a sword, some kind of sword or blade with them.
Mm-hmm.
There's a website called Pilgrim Hall Museum, And obviously it's a museum dedicated to pilgrims and artifacts and things during that era. And the early New England militias began with 2 basic military divisions. They had an infantry, which included both pikemen and musketeers, and cavalry, and continued with the pikemen.
Pike. Oh,
pikemen.
I was like pikemen.
You know, the big long spear, and musketeers, and the cavalry. And then they've got a picture of a sword here. It was owned by John Thompson, and they don't tell me what it is, but
it looks like an old officer sword or something.
Yeah, it's very elaborate in the handle area, kind of like a musketeer. You see in the 3 musketeers. The infantry, the musketeer, was composed of pikemen and musketeers, and battle formation ranks of musketeers fired upon the enemy. Armored pikemen protected the musketeers. A musket is a gun with a long, heavy, smooth bore barrel, as opposed to a rifle which has spiral grooves. So that's good to know.
Yeah, it just had just one little ball that basically like the original muzzle loader, and you pack the powder down in there, shove the ball in there, and. But back then, did they have primers yet, or was it just like flintlock?
Well, you know, they had to do the powder and you stuff everything down the barrel, and then put your round on top of that, and then I guess it was probably flint, I would think, back then.
Yeah, I don't know if they had the primer ones
they
yet.
had the primer back then.
There's one I saw recently. It was on one of the shows on the Outdoor Channel. It was an old muzzle loader, looked like a musket, but it was like one of the first single, it almost looked like the original cartridge before we actually had loaded ammo like we have now. It was a brass cartridge, and it was flat on the back. It didn't have a primer. It had a little bitty hole. And so what they do is they put all the gunpowder down into that cartridge, shove the ball on top of that, and then they had a little, I can't remember if it was a primer or just like a little fire starter on the back that pushed the fire into that little hole in the cartridge and launched the projectile like we have today.
Set everything off. That's a pretty archaic way to get the round down range.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting, but I'm assuming that's the way we came up with what we have now. Somebody eventually said, why we got a hole? Let's just put the primer in the cartridge itself.
Makes a lot more sense.
Yeah. So
I saw a bullet, I don't know what show I was watching, but it was just a bullet head.
Uh-huh.
And the bullet head had all the powder and everything in it. There was no casing or anything. And it had a little hole, I guess, and that was ignited there, and it just shot it out, so you didn't have a...
That's pretty wild.
I can't remember where I saw that, but the early muskets were too large and too heavy to support without assistance. Soldiers used crutch-like musket rests, kind of like you would use
the trigger stick.
Yeah, the trigger stick, to support the gun's weight. A U-shaped musket fort made of iron was mounted onto a tall wooden pole, which was set into the ground. The musket balls, which could weigh up to an ounce, could pierce most armor. Musketeers did not themselves wear the armor. Each carried a musket rest, the powder flask, those horn-looking things, and bandolier and other supplies, as well as a sword. Simpler powder containers could be made from animal horns. The ends were sealed with wooden plugs, and then there's a picture of a powder horn on that website that I was telling you about. They did some nice engravings and stuff on there. Their powder horns. But, really, what you would think that a pilgrim would have is they probably had the muskets. They had the swords.
Yep.
They had the, what would the little guns called?
Like a little blunderbuss?
Well, there's a picture of one right here. There's a pistol.
Flintlock pistol.
A little flintlock pistol. They probably had some of those. But what they're going to run into is their lack of supplies, and their powder probably, their gunpowder probably got wet.
Maybe even had cannons.
I don't know. Did they have cannons on those? I guess they did on those ships.
Yeah. Probably some form of self-protection when they came
Name the
over.
3 ships.
Pinta, the Nina, and the Santa Maria.
There you go.
Hey.
Nicely done.
Rapier, that's the name of those.
Ooh.
The Rapier. That's another.
Blow the whistle.
The Rapier.
Did that sword come with a built-in whistle?
If they were smart, it did.
Uh-oh. Groupie's back.
Yeah, I'm coming.
So Double G.
Photo op.
Old Double G. You got any input on historical rifles, like even going back to Pilgrim days?
I'm a big fan of the slingshot.
They probably had a lot of slingshots.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The old style slings, you
Yeah.
know, where you load the ball up and
I think they
spin
had
it
rubber
around.
back
Oh, you're talking about like David and Goliath style slings.
Yeah, like a sling. I was taking it way back, man. We're going,
You're going
BC.
way back.
Well, we're starting with the Pilgrim since it's like Thanksgiving and all.
Oh, well, if we're talking about weapons of mass destruction during the Pilgrim days,
WMDs.
That would have been the bubonic plague, right?
yeah, I was
or
thinking
blankets with smallpox.
With smallpox. That
Yeah.
was actually probably the most notorious weapon back in the day.
Yeah, just here, have a blanket.
I mean,
enjoy.
I'm one of those
Oh,
people,
we're sorry. We didn't know you weren't immune.
I'm one of those guys that doesn't look at Thanksgiving the same way as everybody else does. I like to call it the day that we slaughtered the Indians and took their land.
I think it took more than one day, though.
Well,
I think it was the beginning of the end.
it was the beginning of it, yeah.
Was that the day we gave them the blankets?
I'm actually part Native American, so I can say things like that.
See, I am too.
I'm part Cherokee.
I'm part Cherokee. I'm 1/16. I got paperwork to prove it.
I'm Blackfoot.
You're what?
Blackfoot.
Oh, that's the type of Indian.
Yeah, my grandma was a gypsy. She's a quarter Blackfoot and gypsy. My papa says that all the time. He said she's a quarter Blackfoot and gypsy. Kind of like those gypsy girls on that Marcus Fox show.
Oh my gosh. Oh, my big gypsy wedding or whatever that reality show was.
think that's
that
what it was
getting
called.
filmed. That's crazy.
Their faces were great when Marcus started singing that song.
Yeah.
Talking out,
And then he
thinking
said
out
that,
loud.
said that about the reality star.
Yeah, that was great.
That was perfect timing.
Yeah.
Perfect.
What I miss?
We're talking about historical rifles.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, sorry.
We started talking about my Mosin. I was going to get James over here in a minute.
All right, so here's a quick thing from the NRA on the Mayflower and the Pilgrims. In November 1620, the Mayflower dropped anchor just inside of what we now call Cape Cod, with approximately 130 passengers and crew. Tradition holds that the first person to step ashore at Plymouth Rock was the ship's cooper or barrel maker, a young man by the name of John Alden. As fate would have it, the NRA's National Firearms Museum is the current custodian of the gun Alden most certainly carried with him that historic day. It is a wheel-lock carbine with an Italian-made barrel and numerous small repairs to the stock. For the Pilgrims at Plymouth Plantation's first Thanksgiving in 1621, the wheel-lock would have been the most expensive option. Other simpler and cheaper guns included the matchlock, the Miquelet lock, that's Miquelet, and the
It's probably French. Miquelet.
the snafu.
The snafu?
It's SNAPHAUNCE lock. See that? I'm not even going to try that, so that's why I spelled it. The matchlock, like the name implies, used a slow-burning rope or punk to ignite the priming powder, whereas the Miquelet and the Sninini were somewhat cumbersome.
It's called the snafu lock.
The snafu were somewhat cumbersome predecessors of the flintlock type ignition system that was developed after the sailing of the Mayflower. So
I like
you know what?
I like the old matchlocks. Those are the ones that you'd sit there and you'd light it and you'd wait. And you'd sit there
You
and
gotta
point
wait,
at the guy
you
for
wait,
like 5 seconds. Yeah, you needed at
Tell
least
him to
30 to
stop.
40
Hold, please.
feet.
Yeah.
You had to have 30 to 40 feet of distance to cover before that thing actually went off. So there's a good chance you could take the guy with the gun.
Yeah, I just realized we have a correction to make before we even get to the next show. You asked what the 3 boats were? Which we got the 3 boats
Nina,
of Columbus.
The
It wasn't the Pilgrims.
You better edit that.
No. We leave that. He ruined my elephant story. That needs to go.
You know, everybody's listening. They go, you
That's not.
dumbasses.
Where's the Mayflower? The guy.
We're history buffs, as you can tell.
And then that's why we're waiting on James to come over. He's got the historical.
Yeah, James actually knows a lot about historical guns.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Especially the Civil War stuff. He knows a lot about those.
We definitely need to get him over here. Then.
Yeah. And James is here now. And James
Finally, save us, James. We were talking about historical guns.
James Roberts is the owner of Northside Gun Shop, where we're recording today.
Appreciate you having us today, James.
Hey, appreciate y'all fellas being here.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And these guys down here, I mean, they're the epitome of customer service. Like, if you want good customer service in the gun shop, you know, we talked about it in the Gun Shop Diary show with some of the guys from Nashville Armory, which they're good customer service up there too.
Oh, they're excellent.
But one of the things you get when you go into gun shops is like this gun snob attitude where they don't want to talk to you, they don't want to say hi, and you walk around and they just stare at you like something's wrong with you.
You know what I think a lot of that has to do with?
What's that?
I think it has to do with their lack of knowledge of firearms and guns.
Probably got a good point there.
And I think that's why their customer service is so good here, is that these guys know the products that they're dealing with, and they can talk about them intelligently.
And this is, another thing, every single person that comes in here that's like a regular, James knows their name, says hi and bye to them as they walk in the door and as they leave. It's almost like cheers. Norm!
You should set up like a little bar stool area.
There you go.
Yeah, I do strive to remember every customer who comes in here to my store, and I appreciate every single one of them.
That's awesome. Now, you've got some good knowledge on historical guns. You say you don't, but let's just, for instance, tell me about the Mosin. Because when I bought the Mosin from you, you gave me a pretty good rundown on it.
I did give Zeke a good rundown. I wouldn't say I'm that big a history buff, but on the Mosin, it did have a little history. I told Zeke a story about it, about at the end of World War I, our president at the time sent 2 companies of our troops, instead of bringing them home after World War I, he sent them to Russia, and he tried to crush the communist rebellion in its infancy. He armed them with the Mosin, so it does have quite a storied history.
And then you're familiar with some of the Civil War rifles too?
Just a few of them, not a whole lot. I used to own a trapdoor Springfield, but of course that was invented right after the Civil War.
What's your favorite era as far as firearms go?
I do like the era of the World War II firearms, like the Springfields and the Enfields and the Garands and the M1 carbine.
Yeah, you got that Enfield revolver one day when I was in here.
Yes.
That was pretty cool.
It's still cool, and it's still here at the store. That gun is a very nice gun. It's practically mint condition, and it does have history behind it, and that's why it's a personal favorite of mine.
It's kind of cool. I mean, the value of that one, it's not a really valuable gun, but just to think it's an Enfield revolver, and the only people that got them at that time were British military and police. So how did it end up in Columbia, Tennessee kind of thing? So it's kind of cool to think of how... And then
Can you share that history with us? Do you know the history of it?
Well, I do know the gun came from Nashville, and the gentleman that we got it from, it had belonged to his dad, and he was a pharmacist. He owned a small pharmacy right across the road from Freeman's Army-Navy store in Nashville there, and he actually wore that gun under his pharmacy coat all the years he ran the store.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
Cool.
The guns that the Mayflower people would have. Mayflower people? The Pilgrims.
Mayflower people.
The Mayflower people.
Or also known as the Pilgrims.
Yeah. Not the Pentanina and Santa Maria people, but the Mayflower people. And they were talking about muskets and how some of the old muskets, like it'd take 2 and 3 people just to set them up because they were so long and heavy.
And their firing systems.
Oh, yeah. It would take probably a few good seconds before it actually went kaboom after they...
It's almost like lighting a fuse and waiting for it.
That is correct.
What about any other historical rifles that got some knowledge on?
I enjoy the Garand, and it's a fine shooting weapon. I hate they're not any longer being imported into the country right now, but great guns for anybody who owns one of those.
And that was used in World War II?
That is correct, Zeke. Yeah. They used it throughout World War II.
And then they used it on into some of the subsequent wars.
Yeah,
as well.
it went on into Korea and actually even made it into Vietnam.
That's when they ended up switching to the M16, right?
That is correct.
Awesome.
You got any history on the SKSs?
Very fine plinking weapons. I can't say anything about them. I personally myself, I prefer the Chinese Polytech and the Renko versions, but the Russian SKSs are very nice too.
I've been thinking about getting one of those and tricking it out.
Mm-hmm. I've seen some that were pretty slick.
You can get them fairly inexpensive for the most part, and then they've got some great aftermarket accessories for them.
Yes,
and it's a good round too. It's the 7.62 by 3.9, right?
Mm-hmm. That is correct.
Actually, I'm left-hand, but that's okay.
Oh yeah.
I'm left-hand on the show, by the way.
Well, I'll bleep it out.
That's okay. We didn't warn him.
I'll bleep it out. That way it sounds like he cussed you out.
Yeah. That's right.
Well, James, man, we appreciate you letting us come down and record. This is a really neat place. If y'all are ever in the Columbia, Tennessee area, it's in between Columbia and Spring Hill on the main
It's
little
well
highway.
worth your trip to come out of your way and visit as well.
And price-wise, they've got some awesome prices on stuff.
Yeah, some of the better prices that I've seen anywhere in our area.
Like I'm looking at that Blackhawk Sportster AR bag, and what'd y'all end up pricing those at? $26.99.
And they've got some 50 cal ammo cans here too.
Yeah, they got
a big haul of those as well. And you're selling those for what, like
two for $25?
2 for $25 or 1 for $15.
That's a deal.
Y'all having any Black Friday?
Black
deals?
Friday specials. We're opening up at 6 a.m. here at the store on Friday morning, and we do have quite of an assortment of guns currently priced at our Black Friday prices.
And you can go to our Facebook page?
You can go to our Facebook page at Northside Gun Shop on Facebook, and you'll currently see everything we have listed on there. And while you're there, also enter into our drawing for everybody, people that likes our post. It saves a list of your name, and we'll put your name in a hat and draw it out, and the winner will be notified who wins a free brick of Remington Thunderbolt 22 long rifle.
Oh, nice.
Am I eligible? I'm going there right now and
well, thank you.
Anytime. Who is it? Northside Gun?
Northside Gun Shop. James, we appreciate it, man.
Hey, I'd just like to say thank you, Zeke. I appreciate the guys and Zeke, you and Talking Lead coming down today to our store doing your broadcast, and we really appreciate it. And if you are in the North Columbia area between Columbia and Spring Hill, drop by the store and say hi to all the good folks here at Northside Gun Shop.
Including our groupie Gabe. This is where he works. Thanks, James. And now we got another man on the street that Leadhead Jerome sent in, and we're going to play that right here. Thanks, Jerome.
This is Straight Shooting on the Street. I'm Leadhead Jerome at the movie theaters. I'm with
Jason.
Jason, what does the number 2 mean to you?
It's ultimately choice. Choice is the one freedom that supports every bit of the Constitution, whether it's freedom of speech, freedom of religion, or freedom to bear arms. If you impugn one, you impugn them all. And that's what the Founding Fathers, they fought against, okay? And people like to think that it does not apply to modern day era, but it does. The right to bear arms in all of its forms and fashion. We're talking military grade equipment. We're talking home and help defense. We're talking not just the old flintlocks in the 1700s. The laws are what's really important. The implementation of the law is what's being questioned. The right and ownership of the weapon for defense or for whatever use, that is the variable gray line. Okay, I am all for the right to bear arms in the defense of one's home and family, above all else. Property, self, family. And so that's what it really means to me. Now, what will it mean to me in the future should someone else decide their choice to use their choices against me and mine? Then that's where that choice of defense has to come into play. If someone takes that choice of defense away from me, then you might as well have turned the state over to an organization or a government or a rebellion of its own to run amok and chaos. Everyone likes to blame, all these deaths on guns. They like to blame it on NRA. They like to blame it on munitions manufacturing. You can't blame that on. Those are organizations that build a product for a service that we choose to use in America.
They build a tool.
It is the choice of the person as to how they use it. And that is where education needs to come in.
Very well said. I like that. When was your first time you ever fired a gun?
It was actually 1989.
Wow, you know it down to the year?
Yeah, I do. But being with where I was trained in the martial arts, I wasn't trained to rely heavily on one tool or another. It's just a different tool. But then they train you in a lot of the advanced martial arts classes to widen your horizons, but know your enemy. So if you don't know how a gun works and you don't know how they're going to be using it, then you are not prepared to deal with whatever comes your way. So I had to learn how. I had to face it and I had to use it in order to be a well-rounded, warrior.
I see. All right. Any military or law enforcement experience?
Not personally, but I do have family members. I didn't per se, pursue any kind of law enforcement, but definitely do respect it.
When you want to get your gun fix, what is the top thing you like to watch or read, or as far as pop culture to get that fix?
You're going to laugh at me. I really like the crazy Quentin Tarantino the remake of Jackie Brown with Samuel L. Jackson. I'm a big Samuel L. Jackson fan, and when he's out there selling the black market illegal guns to them to come pick up, and that phrase where he used, when you got to kill every blank blank in the room except no substitute, he's wiped everything out, and that does it for me.
Okay. Well, thank you much.
Thank you.
Thank you, J. Rome.
J. Rome?
J. Rome.
J. Rome.
I was going to say his last name, and I was like, better not. He probably wants to stay anonymous.
Anonymous?
Yeah.
J. Rome is anonymous?
Yep.
Sounds like a rap album.
Anonymous.
Jerome's helping us out with stuff like that. And if y'all have any
That's good stuff.
You want to
I'm enjoying his segments.
suggest, or if you're out in California or somewhere not around here and you want to get a perspective from out there, talkinglead@gmail.com. Shoot it to us. Also, we want to talk about our buddy James Yeager's project he's got going. It's called Ammo Nation. It's a Kickstarter project. It's also, you can go to Facebook and look it up.
You can go to his main page too. I mean, if you're already a liking on his James Yeager page, you've probably already seen it.
So if you go to Kickstarter.com and look up Ammo Nation, AMMONATION, it's kind of a reality show / documentary that is going to show how gun guys live, you know?
I would probably say it's safe to say it's a reality show, gun stuff.
Yeah.
And you've got Yeager, which is a huge personality.
So what is Ammo Nation? Aren't you sick and tired of the mainstream media telling you that all gun owners are a bunch of right-wing wackos? Us too. We want to portray the people that take guns and training seriously in 100% no BS fashion. We will also be biased by showing the world how positive and rewarding gun ownership and proficiency can be. James Yeager will run the production of this documentary front to back. He is already widely popular. YouTube channel is a success because of his tell it like it is personality, no doubt, and his unwillingness to take off any person. His background as an undercover cop, police, sniper, SWAT team leader, high-risk civilian contractor, and world-renowned tactical instructor make him ideal to head this project. I agree. He will use this tenacious style and aggressive flair to create a program unlike any you have ever seen. I can only imagine it's going to be balls to the wall intense.
From being there at the training for the weekend we were there, this documentary is going to be not just informative, but it's going to be a blast.
In this documentary, you will follow a group of James Yeager's tactical response students, some with law enforcement experience, some current or prior military duty, and some civilians with a little training and some with a lot. Through intense and gut-wrenching scenarios, training which will test both the physical and mental boundaries. Think embedded cameramen. That means no sound stage, no rehearsals, no phony drama, no actors, real stress, real emotion, and real danger. Danger, Will Robinson.
That's going to be fun. That's going to be fun to watch. It's going to be probably even more fun for them to film. Just going to his class and experiencing those guys. There are a lot of really, really good guys, and they know their stuff when it comes to firearms. And, of course, James Yeager is James Yeager. That's all you got to really say about that.
And if you just Google Ammo Nation, James Yeager, Ammo Nation, there's links to the Kickstarter, and I can give you the address. It's www.kickstarter.com/projects/11142.
Nobody is going to read that and type it and
Ammo Nation.
Go to Kickstarter and search Ammo Nation.
They're going to rewind and listen, rewind and listen, rewind.
Let me get my pen out again. Hang on a second. I missed that.
We should take
Or maybe we'll post a link to our Facebook page too, huh?
We should do a 10th caller promotion. So the 10th caller right now.
Right now? And we'll get our calls, Monday?
Yeah.
We'll
Whose
get them
number?
all next
We're going to
week.
give them your number.
Give him my number?
Yeah.
Call him
I
late.
get calls all day.
Let's give him
Am I the
Trevor's
10th
phone
caller?
number.
Oh, no.
Trevor Furlock.
Now, you're talking about doing a trivia question from Walking Dead. So before we talk about the trivia, there's another little contest we've got going on where you got to get to 100 plus iTunes reviews, and we're only at 75 guys. So and
Step
girls.
it up, ladies and gentlemen. Step it up.
So at 100, we got a prize pack. We'll give it away. 200, we got another prize pack. We'll give away.
And then we've also started our 1911
beauty pageant.
Yeah, but not officially because we haven't posted the rules yet. So we've got to solidify all that. But you can go ahead and start.
But we're accepting entries.
Yeah, but what we'd like you to do is, along with, your 1911, and we'd like your pictures to be, not just of the gun. Have some sort of creative background going on with the gun as well. And then tell us a little bit about the history of the gun, if you've got a cool history, and if you've done customization, tell us what all's on your gun, what you did to it. Oh. And then also what I'd like you to tell us is something that you would like to do that you haven't done to it, or a piece of equipment or something, an accessory that you would like for your 1911 that maybe you don't have yet.
That won't affect you winning, but it'll be good content for us to talk about.
Yeah, and, to give other people maybe some ideas on stuff they hadn't thought about doing to their 1911s.
Yeah, because otherwise, I got a little cheap $300 1911 I'd like to deck out with $1 million worth of stuff. I win now?
Yeah. Unless you've already got it decked out and you send a picture with all that stuff on it, you might.
Another thing, when you're sending us the pictures, we forgot to mention it when we announced it before, it's the same as the AR beauty pageant. Make sure somehow in that picture we can identify that it is actually yours and you're not just pulling a picture of a cool 1911 off the website. So if you want to take a postcard or a business card or stick it in there, or just put your name on it, stick it in the picture, or creatively write your name with ammo or something. Something that proves to us that is your gun, then, because these prizes we're going to put together are going to be a little bit better than the AR was. Sorry, Artisan Tony.
Artisan didn't. Did he win that? Yeah, he did.
He won Trevor, with the Woody.
Trevor came in second.
Yeah.
Or Brian
came in second. Yeah.
Right. And we're going to be on their show coming up.
Yes, December 12th.
December 12th, we're going to be on what's their new show called?
Slamfire Radio.
Slamfire Radio.
Yep, we'll be on there.
With Brian and Trevor, our Canuck buddies.
The trivia question from Walking Dead, what was it going to be?
The trivia question is going to be, because I can't identify what it was specifically, tell us what the governor used to take out Martinez. Is it Martinez or Martinez?
Martinez. No, his ex-henchman from Woodbury.
Everybody knows who Martinez is.
From the most recent episode of Walking Dead.
Yeah.
So he takes him out. Was he used to do it? And the winner of that will get a modern Spartan Systems starter pack, which comes with what?
We've got all 4 of our products in there. We'll include a sample of the grease that we've got in case you use that on your weapons, and we'll also throw in a T-shirt. So
wow, you're gonna throw a T-shirt on too?
Absolutely. Just let me know what size you guys wear. So
awesome,
nice. So make sure you find that
fairly easy.
You can answer on Facebook. You can answer on Twitter, Instagram, our website. Go to the forum section. And
that's another thing is we've got a forum section going on. You guys may not be aware of on our website, and we've got all kinds of different topics going on there.
Yep.
I started one. I did that review of the J sites.
Mm-hmm.
We've got an AR build forum going on. There's something about magazines on there. What's your favorite gun magazine kind of deal? And then we've also got links to our buddy, the student of the gun,
who has his forums on our site.
On our site as well.
Yep.
So check that out on our website. Our website in the next few months is just going to get really cool and robust. So keep your eye on our website.
It's a good place to go and just kind of further our community and build some relationships.
Build camaraderie in the gun community.
Yes, sir.
With our lead heads.
Yep.
Let's hear some listener feedback. We've not done that in quite a while. All right, so first let's go to our Facebook post that we did before our show. Earlier in the show, we were talking about, instead of what we did in guns, what we're thankful for that's gun-related. Firearms related. And we've got some responses. Zeke?
First one we've got is from Colby S., and he's thankful when it comes to firearms for the protection, joy, and honor I have and being able to own them.
Good one.
So that's a good one.
And Lester Stone is the country I live in, that forefathers saw the wisdom to let me possess a gun, and the military that defends us. Very good. Thanks to Lester S.
Also, Robinson F. Jr., thankful for safety training and advocacy groups that let the little people, put in the quotation marks, come together and have a big voice. And that's really important for the continuation of our Second Amendment rights.
Such as the NRA.
So thank you guys for chiming in on our What Are You Thankful For?
Yeah, appreciate that. And
Giving Thanks episode.
During the week, you guys, especially, around Wednesday, Thursday, be checking our Facebook page because we'll be posting stuff during our show, and you'll have an opportunity to give us some, chime in, give us some of your thoughts and whatever questions we pose there.
We got some new listener feedback. We've had some new listener feedback, but we've been going so crazy the last few weeks traveling that we've been forgetting a lot of segments. But I'll read a few of these.
Redoing websites and stuff, so that's been busy.
Yeah, we've got Big G of AZ put 5 stars. Zeke and Left Hand produce a great podcast. 2 buddies talking about guns and stuff, what every person who enjoys all aspects of gun ownership enjoys listening to. I catch myself talking to the guys while listening. You should see the looks I get from people when I do. It's pretty good. Also have great show by MTISELIN. Mitzelin? Always a great show to listen to. Very informative, entertaining. 5 stars. This one's from Mock Turtle 515. May cause work disruptions. 5 stars. I ended up listening at work. I laugh during some cast, but I forget I have headphones on, and I look around to see some really unhappy people wondering what could be so funny. And then we have Grinder Dog. He has 5 stars. Love listening to these guys. I was bumming when they disappeared, but after their changes, I was able to get them again. And thanks for not leaving us all. You better not leave us with our hands on our Glocks again.
We never left.
We never did.
We never left.
We've always been here. We just had some changes.
You were just
feed.
tuning in through the wrong avenue.
Yeah, but we're still here.
Peter W. says, hey guys, love the show. Been listening since the SOTG show, Student of the Gun, and can't wait to get the next podcast. Quick question. Who does the intro music for you? It sounds like Die MF Die by Dope, but not true. And we haven't given our guys a plug in a while. Let's give them a plug.
Despite it's a Swedish band. We got a hold of them when we first started the show, and they're a heavy metal band out of Sweden. The name of the song is Rain. So Despite's the band, Rain is the song. Great group of guys over there. Really like their stuff. If you like metal, that's who it is. Oh, also thank you to Autodidact Dystopia. I know that's a hard name to say, but he does a lot of
better
animated
you say that
intro.
than me.
Yeah, he's on YouTube. If you go to Autodidact Dystopia, I'm not going to even try to spell it. But if you go and look for him, he's got some really cool animated stuff. He did our YouTube intro. While we're giving thanks, let's just thank our sponsors. And
I'd like to thank our sponsors.
US-EliteGear.com, US Elite Gear. Type in the code Talking Lead, and we will get the discount to you there.
Also like to thank ICE Training. That's ICEtraining.us. Rob Pincus and all the folks over there. Great videos, great books, just a super group of guys that have nationwide training available. So you can go there and check out in your area what they've got available.
Special thanks to my brother-in-law, Brandon Bond, with All or Nothing Tattoo. Really great guy. Huge supporter of the Second Amendment. He does a lot for the cause. Does a lot of promotions for Second Amendment-friendly companies, and I'm going to actually try to hook up Modern Spartan and him. But check out his tattoo studio at allornothingtattoo.com and their gun-friendly merchandise store, strangleholdmerch.com.
Also like to thank our buddy Barry Clapp over at Graphic Effects, who really did a great job on our vehicle wrap. And they are also getting into the hydro graphing.
Yep.
They've got that up and running now. We're actually going to do a show from there and do some videos of some stuff being hydro wrapped.
Nice. Thank you to Groupie Gabe, Double G.
That's me. I've been trying to stick around, but it's been super busy here at the Northside Gun Shop in Columbia.
I love the way you slickly plug it in there every
I'd
day.
like to thank Holder and Green Professional Real Estate Services, HG Press. Get in touch with those guys for all your Middle Tennessee real estate needs. You can contact them at 1-800-615-1840, extension 2222.
Justin, how you get a hold of Modern Spartan if they want to order all that stuff?
The best thing is to go to the website, www.modernspartansystems.com. Take a look at it. You can Google search it. We've got info pages on there. It's got the numbers. Just give us a call or hit us up at the store. And we do have a coupon for you guys.
Set up the lead heads, right?
Absolutely. So all you guys that are listening out there, we appreciate it. If you guys register your name on there and use the coupon code TL15, that's TL for Talking Lead 15, give you guys a 15% discount. We really appreciate it.
Awesome,
So
man.
thanks for having us on the show.
That.
Yeah, and his stuff really is good product. We're not just saying that to put your mind at ease. He's not a sponsor of us yet. We are not being paid. The product sells itself. It's really some of the better stuff I've seen out there. I mean, we both like Frog Lube. We like the classic stuff, the hoppies, but this stuff, I mean, it does exactly what it says, and it's eco-friendly too, right?
It's all environmentally friendly. If you take a look on our website, we've got a huge area where people are doing feedback. Take a look at it, and we've got a bunch of really great reviews, and we appreciate it. So,
do y'all have any videos like showing some cool stuff that it does?
We've got a YouTube channel. Does a lot of the competition. We've got it head to head against some of the competition.
Okay,
just so that way you guys can see it.
I saw one video up against another one. It's kind of the same bio-friendly type product. Just destroys it on a Timken bearing test. It's pretty amazing stuff.
I think that's the one you showed me. That was pretty cool stuff.
Yeah, really.
So go to YouTube and check that video out, guys. Now I got to add. Does that come in a spray? Do you have any of those in a spray, or is it all the squirt?
We're getting ready to have a spray top added, so that way you can choose it on the feature. Because I know some people like the drip top, some people like the spray top. So
yeah, I was like, man, I would really be into this if it had the spray.
Absolutely. Within the next month, you'll probably see that probably before Christmas. So modernspartansystems.com
and TL15 to get you a discount on that stuff.
And we also like to thank Clutch Defense.
Yep.
And you can go there. Those guys are really stocking up on some ammo there. Use the Talking Lead discount code TalkingLead68. That's because our buddy Clay Greenfield, the racing NASCAR, truck driver, is also part of that outfit. And we should be having him on soon again.
If you listen to Talking Lead, like we said a couple episodes ago, you should not have to pay full price for anything anymore. As many codes as we're throwing out to everybody.
Yeah, and if anybody is in the Columbia area, Middle Tennessee, we're going to be giving away some Modern Spartan stuff.
Oh, that's true. So if you're not able to, if you're listening to the show, you're online. What am I going to say?
Yeah, well, even if go to the website, check it out, do some research if you like the idea. But if you just want some free stuff, we're going to give away a starter pack of Modern Spartan we'll give one away. So the first person that comes in here after this thing airs
and mentions Talking Lead,
and mentions Modern Spartan here at the Northside Gun Shop in Columbia, Tennessee. We'll give you a free Modern Spartan starter pack.
Sweet.
Nice. So you got
two ways. You can answer the trivia question, and then you can
be the first one to come to Northside.
Make a short trip down to Northside.
And if you're in the area, it's probably the easiest way to try to be the first one.
Even if you're in California, it's a short trip.
Yeah, it is. It's only 3 days. If you take the southern route, if you take the southern route, it's 3 days across 10 and up. If you take the northern route, it's going to take you a little bit longer because there's probably some weather.
And thanks to James and Northside Gun Shop too.
And also want to show another thank out to our Next Level Training guys. We're still rocking the Next Level Training cert pistol,
so which
you've
had for about 2 months.
For that.
Hint.
I think I brought it today.
Did you?
I'll have to look in the truck.
That's cool.
I can't remember if I meant to grab it and bring it to you.
I just want my machete.
My bad.
Thanks, Justin, for coming on the show.
Appreciate it, guys. Thanks a lot for having me.
Thank Gabe, but he'll probably show up randomly again.
I'll randomly be anywhere.
Appreciate the shirts, too, man. Thanks.
Not a problem. Not a problem. Hope you guys
like
shirts?
Well, I thought we did. Didn't you say we had shirts?
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, you got a shirt.
Okay.
Sweet.
I don't have lumberjack size, so I'm going to have to work on getting you like a quadruple XL.
We sew two together.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea right there.
And as always, left hand, keep your loved ones close
and your firearms closer.